While working at the television station, I constantly thought about the idea of returning to school for my master's degree. However, I encountered yet another barrier or resistance to learning, a fear of the unknown. When I approached my boss about the idea of returning to school, he immediately contested. My boss defended his thoughts by stating that a master's degree in television was unnecessary and unheard of. I was already working in the #1 market for television and had the job many others were fighting for. He told me that if I pursued it, I would have to find another way to get it done because he wouldn't adjust my work schedule to attend classes. In this instance, the culture I was in danger of losing was my television production culture and work family. It wasn't until I began working at Rutgers University that I saw the clear value in continuing my education, but because I feared the unknown, I was reluctant to take the GRE exam to get into graduate school. After 5 years of living with this fear of taking the test, I found out that my work history was enough to exempt me from taking it. While completing my master's degree as an older adult, I became even more aware of my experiences. I had a larger concept of self as I realized that I alone was responsible for my feelings towards continuing my education, and I was now ready to learn. I had a wealth of experience in the field of communication, which I used as a resource. My experience in graduate school was such a positive one that I was motivated to apply for a doctoral program concentrating on designing learning environments in higher education. It is in this program that I see myself as a self-directed learner because I decided what I wanted to learn, how I want to learn it, and who I am learning it from. I am now taking authority of my learning by being in a doctoral program, and I have found the learning to be experiential because I am able to combine and draw on all of my wisdom, prior experiences as an adult learner, and my experience in the field of communication. As a doctoral student, I think it is most important that I've learned how to think critically and practice this technique for thinking each time I focus on my area of research. I have to formulate questions that pertain to my research and gather information on my topic, apply that information learned, and contemplate its implications. Once I contemplate the implications of the information found, I am then able to explore all options by getting other points of view. It is also important to note that I have learned to think critically about things outside of the classroom as well in order to gain a critical perspective. It allows me to think for myself and not take everything I read or hear at face value. Reflecting on my own experiences as an adult learner has shaped how I think about my job and responsibilities to my students as an educator. Not only is it important for the learner to become aware of and recognize society's influence on development, but it is equally important for me as an educator in order to increase cultural and self-awareness. Acknowledging adult development concepts recognizes that each individual will be at a different developmental stage at different points of his or her life, and as an adult educator, it is important to be able to identify those stages and to support each student accordingly. However, I don't believe concepts related to adult development should concretely influence my work as an adult educator, specifically because each person's development and societal experiences are not created equal. The word concrete creates the connotation that as an educator, nothing else would influence my work. Under that notion, all of my work would be solely and deeply rooted in adult development theories, and I don't believe that that should be the case. Educators may use the influence of some aspects of the theories to base their lessons or help guide their students, but it should not be the deciding factor when attempting to educate adults. It is important for educators to recognize the different developmental stages of adult learners and to be able to accommodate individual students specifically at those different stages of development. However, the work of an educator should not be influenced by concepts or theories because just like students, they are not one size fits all.
Created using Powtoon.